Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a first trimester recap. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about symptoms, some of my earliest symptoms, and then kind of how they progress throughout the first trimester. And then I'm also going to talk to you guys about some of my dietary stuff, so my cravings, food aversions, symptoms, like nausea, things like that. And then I'm going to be talking to you guys about more emotionally, like how I felt during the first trimester, how I felt finding out, and how I kind of felt as I progressed throughout that first trimester. Okay, so to start, I will be talking about my symptoms. So some of the earliest symptoms that I personally noticed, and this varies for everyone, I noticed that I had some pretty sore boobs, which I sometimes would get before my period, but this was like more intense than ever before. Also, I was peeing a lot, so I would pee and then a few minutes later I'd feel like I had to pee again, and it wasn't the same as a UTI because there was no burning or anything like that. It was just, I just really had to pee a lot all the time, which is an effect of some of the hormones. And so I took a pregnancy test on the 31st of January. So my last period started on January 5th, and then I tested positive on January 31st. And I don't know exactly what day I ovulated. I didn't get that technical, but I knew that it was soon, it was about the time that my period was supposed to start, and so I figured I would go ahead and test and see if it was positive. And it was very faintly positive, and so I called my doctor and then went in for an appointment around 7 weeks is the first time that we heard the heartbeat and everything, which was super cool, and luckily my husband Cal got to be there with me. And then symptom-wise, throughout the first trimester, I was very lucky and I did not have a whole lot of nausea or morning sickness, although I did have some food aversions. So certain foods, if I looked at them, thought about them, even tried to eat them, I would feel nauseous. So meat, pretty much all meat was one of them. And then vegetables was another. So it was really a struggle to eat healthy early on, because all the foods that I wanted and was craving and that sounded good to me were all carbs pretty much. I wanted bread, crackers, granola bars, I could eat cheese, so I got a little bit of dairy, but it was a lot of very bland basic foods and not very nutritious. Although towards the end of the first trimester, those did start to subside a little bit, and I did have more cravings for sweet things, but I was able to kind of balance that out by including more fresh fruits, like fresh juicy fruits like strawberries, watermelon, pineapple sounded delicious to me, so I was able to get a lot of my vitamins through there. I of course take my prenatal vitamins every day too, just as a little boost, and I've also been able to sneak some veggies into smoothies and things like that. So I'll make a fruit smoothie with frozen berries and bananas, and then I'll also sneak in some frozen spinach because it's pretty easy to disguise it and it doesn't taste like the vegetable, so it wouldn't make me nauseous. And that was pretty much, my diet for the first trimester was not the best, but I also wasn't eating a lot because I would eat a little bit here and there, and then if I ate too much I wouldn't feel good, but if I went too long without eating I wouldn't feel good. So I tried to just eat very small snacks and little meals and space it out throughout the day. And like I said, I never threw up, I never got extremely nauseous, so I was very lucky in that sense. But one of my other biggest symptoms I noticed throughout the first trimester as things progressed was fatigue. I was so tired all the time. There was probably a couple of months straight where I was going to bed at like 8 or 9 p.m. When my husband and I would get home from work, we would sit on the couch and start to watch a TV show, and within like 10 minutes of the show being on, I would be falling asleep on the couch. And it was just, I was so tired no matter how much sleep I got at night. And I was waking up a couple of times throughout the night to go pee, which luckily that has stopped for now. I know it will come back towards the end. But yeah, I was waking up throughout the night to go pee, and sometimes I was awake in the middle of the night just because there's so many emotions that come with finding out that you're pregnant. And so I was going through kind of a lot mentally, mostly positives, but it's just, it's a lot that goes through your brain during a time like that. So I wasn't sleeping the best, but yeah, I would be ready for bed by like 9 p.m. every single night. So next I'm going to talk to you guys about emotions. So I talked to you about the physical symptoms. The biggest ones for me, honestly, were just the sore boobs and the fatigue, mild nausea and food aversions. but nothing too crazy. And I know a lot of people have it pretty rough with the morning sickness and the nausea, so I am super grateful and thankful that I did not have it that bad. So emotionally, when I first found out, so kind of a background, I stopped taking birth control in October of 2019 and then got pregnant in January of 2020. So really it was, I'd say 2 to 3 months of trying, if you'd even call it that. I think at the time we were like, yeah, we want kids and we want kids pretty soon, so let's just stop birth control and see what happens. And we're both in a place in our lives, financially, mentally, with work, with everything, where we were ready for this if it was what was meant to be. So sure enough, come January, I got the positive test, and I think for me it was probably a combination of, this is so exciting, I can't believe this is really happening, mixed in with, oh my gosh, this is really happening. And so it was definitely exciting, but a little bit scary at the same time. And then I did get my husband, or actually I did get my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband. That's a story for another video. I did get his reaction on video, so I will insert the clip here. And
oh my god! What?
Yep.
Oh my god! We're really happy. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, we're gonna be parents?
Yep.
Wow.
I think early on I was just mentally, it was kind of overwhelming, like it didn't feel real. I hadn't totally accepted it, I guess. It was like, yeah, this is cool, the test came back positive, I'm so excited and so happy, but it didn't really feel like I was really pregnant and had a baby in there. Probably until that 7-week ultrasound, when we saw the heartbeat and saw baby and heard the heartbeat on the monitor. And that was just such a cool experience, and I'm so grateful that Cal got to be there with me for that before this whole quarantine thing got as serious as it is now. And that was a really cool experience that we got to share together, and just such a relief to know that baby was in there and the heart was beating and everything was healthy. And any of you other moms out there watching, I'm sure you know the feeling when you first see baby's heartbeat and just know that there is a real baby inside of you. It makes it so much more real and so much more exciting, I think, for me and for my husband. So, and for all you moms out there that are newly pregnant or that are trying to get pregnant, you have that to look forward to. It's just the coolest thing as a first-time mom to be able to hear that. And I'm sure as a second and third-time mom and every time after that, it's probably still equally as exciting. I think emotionally throughout the first trimester, it started to feel more real as more things came up. So I got, after the first ultrasound, that made it more real. And then I had my neurotranslucency scan, which is a genetic screening in the state of California. They offer that to pregnant mothers, which was so cool. By that time, I was 12 weeks and 6 days, so you could see baby's arms and legs, and the tech showed me the different hemispheres in the brain and the heart, and you could see the stomach that was already full of fluid from the baby practicing swallowing, and it was super, super cool. Another thing that we did is we did the sneak peek blood test clinical. So we went to a little boutique that offered, had a phlebotomist there that drew the blood and did the sneak peek gender reveal. And so we found out that we are having a baby girl, and I think finding out the gender was another moment that made it more real, because now I daydream and I picture having a little girl. And so if you're questioning whether or not to find out the gender or do a sneak peek or an early ultrasound, I personally would say go for it, because once you know the gender, it makes it so much easier to bond with the baby and really imagine what your life is going to be like. But also, if you choose not to find out the gender, or maybe you want to wait all the way until birth, then props to you, because that's one more thing to be excited about and to be surprised about. Personally, I like to plan, I like to know things, so I did not want to wait until birth, but I think it's super cool for all the people that do choose to do so. One more topic that I want to touch upon in this video is exercise or working out. So the general rule of thumb is anything that you did before you were pregnant, you can continue doing into pregnancy. If you did a lot of heavy lifting or contact sports or anything like that, you do want to contact your doctor and see what they recommend and what they say is not safe. For me, I was not a huge athlete before. I did play sports growing up. I did rowing in college. But before pregnancy, my baseline, I would jog 2 or 3 miles. I would go for a hike. I like to swim. So I'd say I was active, but I didn't play any sports. I wasn't a marathon runner or anything crazy like that. And sort of what I tried to do throughout the first trimester was just stay active, but listen to my body. So in the beginning, I would still run or jog. I wouldn't even call it running. It was a slow jog, but I could do 2 or 3 miles. And then as the fatigue really set in, I switched over to maybe just taking my dog for a walk. So I would go out and walk a mile around the neighborhood and just get fresh air and stretch my legs and burn a few calories. But it wasn't anything too crazy, and I definitely listened to my body and I didn't push myself. Another thing that I have really enjoyed is prenatal yoga, which they have all kinds of videos on YouTube. And you can just find a quick 10-minute that's really easy and won't make you sweat, but it'll still make you, stretch out, and it's good for your mental health. And so I really love prenatal yoga, and that's something that I'm going to try to keep incorporating into my routine as my pregnancy progresses. So that, I think, about covers it for this video. I will continue posting videos throughout my journey, and I hope to eventually turn my channel into a family vlog channel once the baby is born. I currently live in California, but almost actually all my family pretty much is back on the East Coast, so this will be a way to connect with family and also share it with anyone else who wants to watch. And so I would love to share my videos with any pregnant moms who are maybe going through the same things, or any women who are thinking about getting pregnant or trying to get pregnant, so they can kind of have an idea of what to expect. This is my personal journey. Everyone experiences different things, different emotions, different physical symptoms throughout pregnancy. So this is just meant to help you out and see maybe there are things that you can relate to or things that you had a completely different experience about. So comment down below and let me know if you are currently pregnant, how far along you are, what your experience has been like so far. So please comment down below if there are any videos that you would like to see me do, or if you have any questions or anything pregnancy related, any topics that you want me to discuss. Please comment down below. I would love to film more videos and share more of my journey with you guys. So just let me know what you want to see, and I will keep filming and posting videos. So please subscribe if you want to follow along in my journey, and I would love to connect with any of you other expecting moms out there or women who are trying to conceive. So comment down below and share your story and your thoughts, and I look forward to getting to know you guys. All right, bye.